In the homosexual community, one's called the bottom, the other's called the top.
In this world, accessible of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Bistro fraternity guy, you got my asshole with bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So cool, was so impressed. Lots of chicks and a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. She's a nice guy, but all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. Oh, I just can't understand it. Conquered defined by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics, cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. She's losing her blood and crying. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink, this one's on me. Look, you're doing fine, losing to your disease. Comatose, I'll pack your bags. Bury you like a tree and gag. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy. We're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy. Hey, Tom Bone's a nice guy. All of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planet. The fundamental could define by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. So let the buggies will quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Plex. We do the show live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific right here on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/EchoPlex Media. You can support this project by going to echoplexmedia.com. Click the support link at the top of the website. Make your own decisions from there. Also, the Media Wench has launched a new streetwear brand. I'm wearing a hat with the logo for it right now for those watching on video. It's at a hellalocal.store, and you can buy stuff mostly referencing Northern California. But there's some fuck ice stuff in there that people also might enjoy. Anyway, I'm producer Dave. You can find me on Blue Sky at Plex-Dave. And I'm also on the thing called Upscrolled, and I barely use it and don't remember my user ID on there. And this is what the people want.
I don't hate the cops. And there's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Oh, donate the cops. Oh, when the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Donate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Thank your local police, 'cause they don't do nothing wrong. Thank your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fearless judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. 'Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Donate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job. Donate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Donate the cops. 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 Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops. Don't hate the cops, don't hate the cops.
All right, so every once in a while we find something, or maybe you find something for me in the Discord or whatever, and we have to put it first. And this is a segment from Fox's The Five that I thought maybe we should put first.
Jesse, I was walking rookie today in my neighborhood, on my street.
On a leash?
Yeah, and this...
Is that your boyfriend?
This car comes throttling down, and he looks me right in the eye. He was already angry. And he sees me, and I give him a wave, because he was a neighbor, I thought. And all of a sudden, he passes me, screeches on the brakes, rolls down the window, and says, "F you, fascist!"
Whoa, really?
Really? Is that real?
In my neighborhood.
Oh my
For real?
gosh.
I swear to God, this happened this afternoon, and I'm thinking to myself, like, he doesn't know I'm a fascist.
Yes, he does. You're on TV.
Do I come across as a
Yes.
fascist?
No.
Whoever sent that to me in the Discord, fucking top-notch shit. The guy goes, I don't know that I'm a fascist. Not like, he didn't say they don't know if I'm a fascist or they don't know me. And then fucking Tarloff is like, dude, you're on TV. Oh, do I come across as a fascist? Fucking God damn if fucking Jesse Waters isn't one of the stupidest fucking people walking the planet. But I love watching these people. I love that cell phone shit. Not cell phone shit, self-own shit. So we're going to move on from that here. This is Alan Dershowitz. Now, there are a lot of people that are like, oh, it's Alan Dershowitz is bad because he defended Jeff Epstein in court. Now, if all he did was defend Jeff Epstein in court, like whatever, you are entitled to a vigorous defense and you are entitled to have whatever fucking lawyer you want if you're accused of a crime. It's fine, whatever. Like when people went, oh, Hillary Clinton defended murderers. It's like, I think she was a public defender at the time. Like, I think, like you don't really get a choice if you're a defense attorney. But this is not this is not the Dersh doing that at all. He's not in a court of law in this clip. Oh, check this out.
of McCarthyism that has afflicted America since the 1950s. I want you to look at this paper that has been reproduced and sent by the Justice Department. It's called Prominent Names. And it's a list of prominent people who have been accused. Every single name of every accuser has been blacked out. So, for example, let's turn to me. It says blank, 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 blacked out, stated she gave him a massage on Epstein's plane, parenthesis, not a minor. So let's understand that. This is an adult, a woman who was on Epstein's plane, she says. I was never on an Epstein plane with a young woman.
Right.
I never got a massage. This is total defamation, a total lie, but I can't disprove it because they won't give me her name. McCarthyism.
This McCarthyism. Oh my God. Dude, this guy doesn't know who the fuck gave him a massage on Epstein's plane. Dude, this is one of those, like, check this out. What if you just shut the fuck up instead of whatever you're doing here, Dersh? You could just shut the fuck up.
Let me continue.
Let's get
on
to
the
that.
issue of for the Mossad, that comes from what is called an undercover confidential source. I happen to know who the source is. The source is somebody who the FBI investigated, found to be totally incredible, lacked all credibility. This is the worst form of McCarthyism. Why are we tolerating this? Why are we allowing accusations without the names of the accusers? For example, in my case, it's an adult woman. We don't know whether she's a victim. We don't know whether she's a perpetrator. We don't know whether she's a co-conspirator. Why do you hide her name and produce the name of the people who are
dude, or you could just shut the fuck up.
Accusation that's guilt by association. It's McCarthyism. It's wrong. It's unconstitutional. It has to
wait. Why is it unconstitutional? It's just somebody printed some shit out. It could be wrong. Why is it unconstitutional? What do you mean unconstitutional?
And the media is playing a role in this. Politicians are playing a role in this. Epstein will never
Let
be
me jump in
remembered
for a second.
who it is. He will be remembered.
Even this dumb lady that's hosting this, she's like, oh, hold on, slow down. He's like on Newsmax, and Newsmax is like, I don't know about this.
For inciting McCarthyism that infects America now more than it ever has since the 1950s. It has to stop.
Inciting McCarthyism. Like, what the fuck, dude? None of this is unconstitutional. Like, oh no, man, all this, like, oh, I was her attorney. Why are you going after me for having been his attorney? This shit all falls apart when he's like, oh man, this is all fucked up, dude. These people, oh man, these people, they're none of these people are happy. Uh-oh. Here's Jesse Waters again. The first clip of Jesse Waters was funny. This, not so funny.
The situation is like this, Dana Perino. Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, then called the cops on him, then arrested him, arrested Maxwell, and they're like, release the files. He's like, you sure you want me to? You really sure you want me to? Fine, have at it. And they're still yelling at his people. Right. It's politics. She's got to go up there. She takes her lumps. They scream. I used to think we should treat men and women differently. I don't believe we should anymore. You cannot yell at a woman the same way you yell at a man. It makes you look worse. Everybody agrees with me.
I have to change my whole strategy with Jessica.
No, please keep doing that. We love that. You get an exception. But if you read the Epstein files, and the Journal's done a great job of this, Epstein got his money from two Jewish billionaires, Lex Wessner and Leon Black, and a little bit of money from the Jewish banking dynasty, the Rothschilds in Europe. And
what the fuck?
It looks like he's mostly just a fixer, a guy who advises. He helps people with their problems. Sometimes,
like, what the problem? What problem is he? It seems like he was helping people with the problem of I'm not fucking a 16-year-old on your private island.
Those problems are you need a girl and
or some penicillin.
Or some if you need it, he's got it.
He's a sex rabbi.
Oh my God.
The halftime show next year.
Yes. Well, that won't be happening.
Yep.
It happened at a jail not too far
Hanging from a noose.
Well, these are the same people fucking pounding their fists about fucking anti-Semitism before, and they're like, he was a sex rabbi. He got his money from the Rothschilds. Oh my fucking God. What the fuck, dude? This this is all falling apart, right? Because these people are like, oh, we're gonna expose all this stuff, and then it all came out, and they're like, oh, oopsie poopsie, that's not what we wanted to expose, was it? Dude, what the fuck? Oh, here's Joe Rogan. He's like, I told you I got 2 of these from Joe Rogan on 2 different subjects. Joe Rogan was like, oh, go vote for this guy. And now Joe Rogan is like, you stupid fuck. But that's also like, you should not get any advice on anything from fucking Joe Rogan. Anyway, here's Joe Rogan. He's like, oh, this looks bad.
Jeez. I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real. This is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victim. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come you protecting the people that work for Donald Trump
is not released? Like,
you would think that all of it would just, like, get rid of all of it. Just expel it all.
It's crazy. So this is the conspiracy that drives me the most crazy, because I don't like it.
Julian Dorothy.
He just gave away the game at the end, right? He's like, this is the conspiracy that drives me the way. I don't like this one. Like, I'm perfectly happy to like peddle in conspiracy theories about like medicine and shit. He's like, but this conspiracy, well, first of all, this is real, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I told y'all to vote for this guy. Don't like it. Don't like it. Yeah, friend, I wouldn't like it either. But that's just because these people like Joe Rogan, he can't just be like, I gave you bad advice. I should never have told you to vote for Donald Trump. But he can't do that. These fucking dude bros, right? They're these kind of masculinity influencer bros can never, ever, ever, ever do that. They never, ever just say, I was wrong. I misled you. And you should get information from sources other than me. Because what that does is that would undercut their credibility with the credulous fuckers who like hang on their every word. And then like what purpose do they serve for their audience if they do that? Oh, this guy's not happy about any of this either.
Post Epstein document dump, the moment for left-right populist unity. Well, there is left-right populist unity, transcending the paradigm at one level. There's also leftists trying to spin it all and only make it about Trump. And then there's right-wingers saying, no, don't look at any of it because Trump's innocent. Trump is innocent of the pedophilia and the...
So you're the second one, is what you're saying. Dude, he just described what one version of a lie is and then just was like, went on to just like a fucking second later was like, actually, that's the true lie.
But his Justice Department's, the buck stops with him, is now, and I've got documents on that.
Wait, what document do you have and what was in your teeth?
Cover up, so.
Like, why are you, like, what is he doing? I know this is about a more serious issue than what the fuck's in Alex Jones's teeth, but what is he doing? Watch this.
His Justice Department's, the buck stops with him, is now, and I've got documents on that, is officially involved in the cover-up, so I'm still going to report on the good stuff Trump's doing, but...
What was in your teeth, bro?
Really upset and angry, and gonna just always point that out, and we're going to look at the Trump people that are in there. I mean, that's what the listeners want, but it's almost a sin because the stuff is nothing burgers, but just to show we're good, we'll do it.
Wait, it's a sin? And it's nothing burgers? Dude, this guy is fucking flailing, dude. He has no idea what to do. Like, all these people have no idea what to do.
All Democrats murdering babies, drinking blood, everything else, and no one.
Yeah, but that's not what was in the files, right? He's giving it away. They're like, oh, it's going to be all Democrats, and so the storm is coming, and we're going to find out about the fucking murdering fucking Satan cabal and shit. You know what wasn't up in those fucking documents? Doesn't look like any Satanists were in there. oh, the gay people, they're taking they're going after the, no, there didn't seem to be many, if any, gay people in there either.
Because it feels too good to go, I'm pure, I'm a Republican, I'm against Trump now because of this. But, and here's an example, Anna Kasparian, who, oh, none of this is real, I'm full of crap all the years, no apology to me. She's all, it's Israel, it's Mossad, Israel runs all this, Israel does this.
I don't like Anna Kasparian, but I don't think she's saying that. I think you're lying. And again, I don't like Anna Kasparian. She got money and then decided that she hates the homeless. Fuck Anna Kasparian. But I don't think she owes Alex Jones an apology.
Yeah, Israel is heavily involved. Why don't you say MI6? Why don't you say CIA? You see, oh, it's okay to say just Israel. This guy's
man, both him and Joe, just take the L, baby. It's so much easier. Just take the L. Because if you're not in the files, right? I bet they mentioned him. They probably don't like him either. I bet they mentioned him, but it's like, dude, just take the L, dude. It's not even your L. Like, I don't understand. Like, Bill Clinton is all up in that shit, and he's like, I don't know, man, just release it all. Fuck it. He's like, I'm going to die in a few years anyway. I'm an old man. I hate to say this, but I don't know. Maybe these people should just be like Bill Clinton and just be like, I don't know, just release it all, whatever. I'm going to die soon. Like, so we're going to move on now. I don't know if people know there was a Spanish language performance at the in the halftime show. I watched it. I thought it was fantastic. And then I took a little bit more of a look at Bad Bunny's music, and that shit is dope. It's got like merengue, salsa. The music style is reggaeton, but it's just like, it's like everything. It's like everything. And I've been looking for like Latin house remixes of his tracks and stuff. It was very good. I was very impressed. I'm very impressed with not just that performance was amazing, but just like his music catalog. I had no idea that it was like that good. Because I'm a fucking stupid white guy in California, and he's an international superstar among people who speak Spanish. So anyway, Megyn Kelly, if you could imagine, had a slightly different take than my take on upon discovering that Bad Bunny's music slaps. She mad about it.
I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not...
Ay. Jesus Christ. Watch this.
For the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English.
No, except it's not. There isn't one. You're lying.
And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out. That people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture.
This attitude about knowing things and shit. This is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. Shut the fuck up. Shut your basic ass up.
You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances.
That's because it's his fucking, what the fuck? He's a fucking singer, and he's singing in his like the language that he fucking speaks, his primary language. Fucking fuck you. Oh my God, I had no idea this was going to be this bad.
Else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event, football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than...
Does she mean Spanish from Spain, or does she just think that the language, like, oh my God, can you just not, like, I don't understand how you can't, like, you could, how is it that you hear a song, you can't appreciate that the music is good because they're fucking not speaking English?
Old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and...
but you probably would have a problem with the fried chicken, lady.
English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
She's like, we should have fried chicken, but if you put any fucking paprika in the batter, I am going to leave. Fucking God. Holy shit. My best part was when she like moved her shoulders like she was like dancing the fucking cha-cha or some shit, which she can't dance, I'm sure. At least not the cha-cha. America has no fucking food culture, really. There's been stuff that's been invented here, but everybody's like, oh, it's a hamburger. I'm like, no, you stupid fuck. That's invented in Hamburg, Germany. That's what it's named after. And that's fine. That's the thing. That is what American culture is everyone's culture. That is America's culture. That's the good part of America's culture, is that it is everyone's culture. Like, there's a taco truck in Oakland that is it's a fusion of like a taco truck and Korean barbecue, and I almost am never able to find it, and that shit fucking slaps. The food there is so good. I don't know, like, what do you... Oh, no. Well, don't worry. Laura Ingraham is also mad. I wonder if she's going to move her shoulders. You know, I can't even do it. I need little clams. She's like, listen, I was okay with the Chiquita banana lady, but this has gone too far. All right. Here's Laura Ingraham.
Bad Bunny was not a national embarrassment because the halftime show didn't represent America at all. But it was another in a long line of embarrassments for the NFL, which is so worried about being woke that it forgot its audience. From beginning to end, it was aimed at a very narrow group of very angry, hard-left people, and not just the Spanish-only aspect.
God, that beat is fucking hot, dude. That beat fucking rules.
But the family aspect was smashed with the gross sexualized dancing. That was the best part of it. There's much worse stuff than that. And of course, the relentless anti-American political messaging, and don't be fooled by this.
God bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, and my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico.
Oh my God, suffering through that again was too much. All right, what do you mean?
Are you gonna be okay, Laura?
There is that everyone across the continent, the Americas, has a right to come here to the U.S. Well, because it's their land as well. It's not really our land at all, as he said in the past. But maybe he should put his money where his mouth is and sponsor a few dozen migrants to live with him in his mansion in Puerto Rico. The point is, once again, the left
Dude, he gives away so much of his fucking money. Does she not know this? It's not like he's fucking giving away all of it and shit. Every rich person could do better. He gives away kind of a lot of his fucking money. He buys like Christmas gifts for fucking hella kids on the dude. I don't know. She's just hella mad that he fucking speaks Spanish, and I don't know. He's like a fucking what do they call it when you're like Latinx but you're like lighter skinned? I forget what it is. He's like a white Latinx kind of person. I don't know. I don't know enough about the culture. Maybe I should shut the fuck up right now. But like. What is she talking about? Homegirl, calm down. There was like a methamphetamine and trucks Super Bowl halftime show for you to watch.
An American tradition. The Super Bowl halftime show is no longer a unifying entertainment, but it's a lecture with a wandering series of subtext, both political and sexual, and most of America just hates it. Now, we somehow went from Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson and Prince, supremely talented superstars, to a guy who kind of toots his way through songs, mumbling about meaningless nonsense.
Ma'am, that's just wait, mumbling about, I thought, lady, you don't speak Spanish. Mumbling about meaningless nonsense? Lady, you just, how do you know? Also, look at what Paul McCartney's wearing. Michael Jackson is a generational talent, but also problematic. And Prince, oh lady, you would not like anything Prince had to say about the world.
But if you want to blame anyone for this again, don't blame Bad Bunny. He is who he is. Someone most people watching had never heard of before he was booked to do the Super Bowl. He's just another entertainer who got very rich off the American consumer, but then turns around and...
So wait a minute, either nobody knows who he is, or he got hella rich off the American consumer because they're fucking consuming his music. It can't be both, you dumb bitch. Like, it can't be both. It can't be, I don't know, nobody knows who you are, yet you sold fucking millions of albums.
Trashes the country when he doesn't like the president. He's an anti-American radical who canceled his U.S. shows because he's supposedly afraid of ICE. What a phony. Unless, that is, he's worried that his concerts attract violent illegal alien gangbangers or rapists.
Wait, what?
But again, don't blame him. Blame the NFL and its commissioner, Roger Goodell, who were guilted into giving Jay-Z and his Rock Nation production company the right to produce the halftime show for a multi-year contract.
Guilted into it?
Who's close to being a billionaire himself, has stacked up hip-hop artists in shows going back to 2019. And no, his wife Beyonce is also very talented. Performing her catchy country song did not count as a country performance.
Why? Is it because she's black? What do you mean she performed her catchy country song, which shows like range as a fucking performer. I don't know if she wrote it or not. Like, a lot of pop music has like ghostwriters and shit. But what do you mean it doesn't count? Like,
remember, Kendrick Lamar was overtly political as well. It was terrible. The shows have featured no real country, no real classic rock, very little national appeal across generations.
Classic rock?
And that's just the way Jay-Z wants it.
What do you mean classic rock? Are you gonna dig up the dead members of fucking like Led Zeppelin or something? Like, what are you talking about, classic rock? Super Bowl halftime performance has always been like people who have currently popular music. Like when Paul McCartney performed, as far as I know, he had recently put out music, right? He wasn't up there singing fucking Hey Jude and shit to people. Like, what the fuck is this? She's just, oh man. So the Megyn Kelly one was worse. I'm just gonna say it. The Megyn Kelly one was like more overtly racist, but I mean, it's not by a whole lot. Don't worry though. Here's Jesse Waters. He was actually afraid of it. Terrified.
The game was so bad, everyone's talking about halftime. And halftime was so bad. Now they say halftime was not bad. Okay, last halftime was Kendrick Lamar. Okay, that was also the most highly rated halftime. So's this. We didn't understand what Kendrick Lamar was saying last time. And that...
Well, he was speaking English, sir. You just don't think that you can process words coming out of black people's mouths.
It was English. Now how do you think we feel?
Jesse, they had a signer for the deaf, but no translator for the Spanish. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I like the Super Bowl not to be an international event. I like it when we kind of all come together as Americans, especially when it feels like the NFL is just using it as a marketing ploy to recruit Latin American audience.
Oh yes, that's fucking yes. Actually, yes. Sir, the Super Bowl is a product, and the NFL. Historically, the fan base has been pretty white and pretty male, and the NFL is doing actually a pretty good job of getting more people of color, particularly Latino folks and women as fans of football. Now they've been consciously doing that because it actually turns out that if you only market to fucking white people, white men, There's a ceiling on that. And the NFL is a gigantic organization. And yeah, they actually would like to make money off of all different kinds of people, if you could imagine that. This fucking motherfucker hates capitalism now.
On the heels of Latin America invading this country, 20 million pouring in. And that's what you see. You see all these foreigners speaking a foreign language with foreign flags marching into the camera like a caravan. Too soon.
Like a caravan. Yeah, that's like a drum circle, but moving. What the fuck, dude? This is just like people playing like hand drums. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be the serious part of the podcast and shit, but
This was an open borders moment. Everybody knows it. That's what's going on here. And all the reporters who are liberal, who don't even watch football, this is the first playoff game they've ever watched. They're saying they loved it. They didn't hear a word. They couldn't understand what the guy said. Of course they loved it.
I don't care what the fuck he said. The music slaps.
Now, a lot of us feel, Americans, red-blooded Americans, that it feels like the left is teaming up with large corporations and foreign populations to take our culture away from us. Now, I love Bad Bunny. I thought some of the tunes I could move to, and I love Puerto Rico.
Oh, I bet you. Oh, dude, I bet your hips do lie. He probably dances like Trump.
Thing, not for Super Bowl halftime. Can you give me at least that? Give me that.
Throw him a bone.
You know, can I interject? I'm sorry, I'm dominating.
We're
this
having
segment.
a great time. You do it. You
But
go.
I want to point out that we're actually making fun of outrage. We're just having fun. But you know that that
we're making fun of outrage. No, you're not. Absolutely not. You are not making fun of people that are outraged.
there's a humorless bunch that will look at what we're doing and think that we're actually
it's lost their mind.
They lost their mind.
I was alienated. We're under siege.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
We were
in that video, Harold.
dream.
My favorite.
I had a dream. I was thrilled.
Oh, where's Jessica? Jessica Tarlov would. Oh, come on.
Screen with flags, speaking a language.
Come on. Yeah, these people. He was actually, dude. Come on. He was saying what he thought. There's no. Oh, we're just pretending to be outraged. No, you're not. Hey, friends. I don't know if you know this, but this is Gutfeld actually. Here's Gutfeld on it from the same broadcast, I think. Actually, did you know that it was Jewish?
The real Super Bowl showdown was the halftime show. Yes, Bad Bunny and Kid Rock's dueling performances are still dominating the conversation. TPUSA boasting about 10 million live views for the conservative counter-programming and over 25 million watched on social media. President Trump was...
Oh, give us the number for the NFL, including television. Including, what was it on Prime? Give it. Where's the number for the Super Bowl halftime show? Come on, what the fuck? Also, if any of that was on Rumble viewbots the shit out of everything for groups like Turning Point USA.
Not a fan of Bad Bunny's performance, which was mostly in Spanish, blasting it as one of the worst ever and calling it a slap in the face to Americans. However, some folks in the media, they seem to enjoy it.
This is about as American of a halftime show as you could have. Go look at Ronald Reagan's farewell speech.
Very loving, very positive, and exuberant. You really felt high by the end of it.
It meant I felt high by that's because I got high by the end of it. Okay, look at this. I don't know, homegirl. I don't know about this. See, we are all. What's this lady's name over here on the left side of this? I don't know about the hat, lady. I don't know about the hat.
But to every Latino and every American as well.
Yeah.
So I was verklempt. Trump doesn't like Bad Bunny. It's because Bad Bunny, unlike him, isn't a Nepo trust fund baby.
Oh, conejo muy malo yesterday. Greg, I felt like I could have written this segment last week, knowing that this was going to be the result.
But you're telling on yourself because you already knew what you were going to think about the halftime performance.
I don't care for it. Super Bowl halftimes are in general, boring spectacles to me. I don't like musicals. I don't like variety shows. I don't like nurses dancing on TikTok.
Oh no, he's going back to the dancing nurses on TikTok. He's like, I don't like seeing anybody have fun.
It's all about, it's less about entertaining you and it's more about look at me. But I have to say, this one was fun to watch as a spectacle. I thought the true stars were the cameramen and keeping up with the constant movement. I would have liked to have...
Look at Gutfeld liked it, but he has to pretend he didn't like it. Look, imagine like Gutfeld is like a giant piece of shit. And he's like, actually, that was pretty fucking good. And he just fucking, come on. Just say you liked it, man. Right? Like, can't Gutfeld just say, actually, I don't know what you're talking about. I rather enjoyed it. I thought the production value was high. Nope, can't do that.
Tear the thing down to see how quickly they did that. That would have been a great scene. But the music itself was mediocre. I didn't even listen to it, but I did enjoy watching it. But
would you mute it because it was in Spanish?
Here's what I want to pose. There are roughly 6 million Puerto Ricans in the United States. That's 1.7% of the population. That's a hell of a tribute for such a fraction.
So some of this stuff was fucking, this guy lives in New York City. Some of this was like a tribute to like New York City culture, that Puerto Rican culture, but not just Puerto Rican culture because it's New York City, has been an influence on. Not all this stuff was referencing Puerto Rico. A lot of this was referencing like the Bronx. Like, I don't even live in New York City, and I've only been like a handful of times, and I fucking know that.
Jews. Okay? There are twice as many Jews in the United States. Where is the Jewish halftime? Where are the dancing accountants?
Oh, hell no. I know it's impossible, but I need to like reach through my screen and redacted, TOS redacted.
Men slinging pastrami, the Jewish mothers telling you to get a sweater on, and then you cap it off with a live circumcision right at the 50-yard.
All right, we're not going to watch the rest of this clip. What the fuck? I don't know. I like the halftime performance. I would not like to watch a live medical procedure in the halftime show. Also, that would be like, I don't know, kind of anti-Semitic, I think, if like there was a depiction of anyway, I'm not even going to talk about that. Fuck that. I have to get that fucking thought out of my mind like immediately. So I'm going to do that by, here's Laura Ingraham with Kid Rock talking about how Jay-Z, one of the most successful musicians and one of the most successful like business people in the music industry, how he was actually a DEI hire.
Well, one thing that was said repeatedly today was that when people saw what the halftime show was like at the Super Bowl, they frantically were trying to find where you and the other performers were performing at the TPUSA event. And
not for nothing, Bad Bunny's performance was live. And this shit that Kid Rock couldn't even fucking accomplish was pre-recorded.
Ultimately got there. And I think it's kind of a sad thing because you performed at the Super Bowl back in 2004 with Justin Timberlake.
Well, that's not great for Justin Timberlake.
Talk to us about the way that whole transition has happened.
He's like, but Justin Timberlake will not talk to me at all, actually, now.
Oh, well, first of all, nobody remembers I played the Super Bowl because that was when Janet Jackson showed her boob. Nobody remembers I was on that thing. Man, I think this all started.
I don't know. I mean, you could have showed your boob.
Man, I could go on for days, but to sum it, I would think back 2016 when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, to protest, I think it was racial injustice and police brutality and everything that, they got a lot of people's panties in a bunch, self included. I did not agree.
Wait, why did your panties get in a bunch? I mean, I'm not going to kink shame and shit, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would go on Laura Ingram's show and talk about wearing panties.
Nonetheless, he's got the right to speak his mind, do his thing. And Roger Goodell really had a real problem on his hand back then. And I think...
No, he didn't. That's one of the most famous Super Bowl moments ever.
How do I get out of this and, keep making the tens upon millions of dollars a year?
That shit was planned, you idiot.
In a predominantly male black league. So he goes like, well, maybe Jay-Z will do it, which nothing against Jay-Z. I respect him for his hustle and, his music.
His hustle? I mean, yeah, don't knock the hustle, I suppose. But like, my God, If Jay-Z was like a white guy, like a rock and roll guy who got this job, he'd be like, oh, he's pretty good at business. But if it's a black guy, it's the hustle.
But it seems like there's a little bit of a DEI hire there going on, to kind of like, black guys love Jay-Z. And of course, I'm not that.
I'm so, what the fuck? I don't know. Do black people love Jay-Z?
That ignorant. I know a lot of us love Jay-Z, not just black guys, but in the league where he had this problem, it seemed like, we'll bring him in. And so, Jay-Z's not going to take that position of power and that money. So, then they convened in a not-for-profit league until, they quietly got rid of that tax exempt status at some point. So Roger did not have to disclose his salary, so he had all sorts of problems. So he brings in Jay-Z, and what's Jay-Z?
So now are they mad at the NFL for being a for-profit? Like, what the fuck? The NFL being non-profit or not-for-profit was a fucking scam in the first place.
Dude, he's going to do right by his base. That's where you had Kendrick Lamar last year. A lot of people didn't get. I respect Kendrick Lamar, but wasn't my...
Well, you better respect Kendrick Lamar. Dude, you do not want Kendrick Lamar's fans coming after you specifically, sir.
And, then this year you're like, wow, they're going to double down. And to me, it was kind of just like another middle finger to conservatives, to the MAGA, crowd, to my base, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... what I said in my intro is it's just kind of all very narrowly focused, and it's kind of it's not, as I said, it's not a performance, it's a punishment.
Yeah, they had Bad Bunny, one of the world's biggest fucking performers, and then like Lady Gaga, one of the world's biggest performers, like on stage together. This is like they did it all just to piss off Laura Ingraham. Okay, up next we got you know what, they should investigate. Actually, this should be investigated by the House of Representatives. They need to have like a special counsel investigate this. Everybody, this is from Steve Bannon's America's Voice Network.
Let's shift over to the Bad Bunny bad performance of the Super Bowl halftime.
That was not a bad performance. Incorrect.
We are still investigating this. There's a lot of information that has come out about the lyrics. I saw.
Bitch, you're still trying to translate it.
The halftime show, and we're switching back and forth with the TP USA halftime show. The lyrics, from what we have seen from Bad Bunny, are very disturbing. And if it holds true that I don't speak fluent Spanish, okay? I know how to ask where the bathroom is, but...
and then they're like, chinga tu madre, gringo. We saw you on fucking America's Voice. Get out of the fucking cantina.
Lyrics, if it is true, what was said on national television...
If it is true... So, friend, this was like a 15-minute performance. If it is true, friend, you could find out what the translation is of what he said. You could find out. Actually, you'd have to have a friend, maybe a friend who fucking speaks Spanish and English, but you could find that out. What do you mean if it's true? What are you fucking, is it some mystery? Was he speaking in some kind of fucking code you don't understand?
We have a lot of
encrypted
for the entities that broadcast this, and we'll be talking with Brendan Carr from the SEC about this. But
wait, why?
This could be much worse than the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. Let's put it that way.
But at least that was a malfunction. I mean, this was apparently...
No, that wasn't a malfunction. That shit was on purpose. They're like, let's show America your titty. And she's like, I mean, I guess so.
Intentional.
This was intentional,
yeah,
yes.
And they could not have said this were it in English. So just the fact that we're at a place...
Wait, what did he say? Like, none of y'all even know what he said, but you know that he couldn't have said it in English? You can't even tell us what he said?
Where we had a fully not understandable halftime show.
unless you can crack the encryption code of Spanish. Now, I know, like, I understand that, like, if these people, like, took Spanish and, like, in an educational setting, a lot of it's going to end up still getting lost in translation because, like, what we teach in, like high school or college or whatever is a little bit different than, like, with the Boricas. Their Spanish is a little bit different. Like, I'm okay at Spanish, and I bet if somebody was, if anybody was talking fast, actually, it wouldn't work for me.
English-speaking people, which is the language of this country, by the way, and that it is that grotesque is just really disturbing.
And here's the, but what did he say? What do you mean you don't know what he said either? Like, it must have been grotesque, but 15 minutes, like what the fuck? What are you talking about? You can't get somebody to fucking translate it? That's because he didn't say shit. He didn't say shit that was like a problem. He didn't say fucking shit that was a problem. Like, it must have been bad. I didn't understand it. It's like when your fucking Spanish speaking friends want to talk shit about you or something. Maybe they'll fucking speak Spanish or whatever. That's what they think Bad Bunny was doing like the whole time.
Part, Dr. Gina.
Yeah.
The NFL purposely wanted a Hispanic star basically to perform at halftime because they're trying to attract more of a Latin America audience.
Yes, the NFL, it would be to their advantage to attract an audience from outside of the United States because they're very popular in the United States, and there's not a lot of room to grow in the United States, I think, for the NFL. So yes, it would be reasonable for them to try to attract an audience, I don't know, Central America, South America, get more people from Mexico. Maybe they don't do so well in Puerto Rico, right? Maybe baseball does real well in Puerto Rico, but maybe football doesn't, and they want maybe see if they get more viewers in Puerto Rico. I heard there's a lot of people in Brazil.
And this is what they deliver.
Yeah, trying to pull them away from the football that they call that we call soccer, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this was a good move, though. Maybe check the words before you let him sing the song.
What words? What words? You fucking Becky. Becky, what words? What words? What words, Becky? She's like,
don't forget to follow us on social media for beautiful food and inspiration.
Always on top of it. Thank you so much for being.
Oh, even that shit had a little Latin flavor to it, huh?
Don't forget to follow us on social media for beautiful food and inspiration.
Shake my shoulders like Megyn Kelly. She's like, I don't know what the words were, but I know they were bad. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so we're gonna move on from the Bad Bunny thing. We could have done 3 or 4 hours on these freaks, like having a big old sad about fucking reggaeton music, which is incredibly popular in any city at the clubs or whatever. Yeah, there's reggaeton like at raves. Anyway, up next, this guy is named Jeremy Carl, and he's been nominated to one of the top posts at the State Department, and he's going to be asked about, funny this should come right after the Bad Bunny thing. He's going to be asked at a hearing in Congress regarding his confirmation about the erasure of white culture.
Tell me how you define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity.
Certain types of Anglo-derived culture that comes from our history.
Like what?
Let me think about this.
Like, they get mad at me when I put raisins in the potato salad, and then they don't invite me back to the fucking barbecue. Boiled beef? Do you like boiled beef?
Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, pride that went with that, that would be one example.
Scotch-Irish military culture?
Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more.
But you're worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity.
I would say that the white church is very different than the black church in terms of its tone and style on average.
And the ability of people to clap their hands on the second and the fourth beat, that too.
Food ways could often be different.
Food could be different? Oh, shit. Food is different. Yeah, no shit. Except that, but you go into like a white city. What's like a wild? I'm trying to think of like where I lived in Campbell was pretty white. Friend, there were like fucking taquerias and shit. There's all kind of shit. White ass Campbell.
Yeah,
and those
music could be different.
And those are being erased.
Music could be different. Well, if you look at the Super Bowl halftime show, which was not in English this year.
So our ability to access white churches or white food or white music is being erased?
I am concerned with the majority common American culture that we had for some.
We don't have. That's American. That's the good thing. That's what's good about American culture is that we don't have. Oh my God, that's like the good thing about American culture.
That through particularly mass immigration, I think has become much more balkanized, and I think that weakens us. And again, I'm not running away from that comment. I'm not apologizing for it.
Well, I'm way over my time. I think you're struggling to answer this question, right? Because underlying your beliefs is a sentiment that white culture is just simply better.
Oh, I wish you would have said underlying your beliefs is stupid racism, because that's what's underlying the guy's beliefs, right? White culture, they're like people complain about appropriation, but the only that is like American white culture is the appropriation and hopefully appreciation of other people's cultures, right? Like, you know, if I make tacos, I'm not like all fucking playing like fucking mariachi music and going I and shit, because that's cringe. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, who else here cooks? Who else here is white and cooks? Like, what's a white thing that you cook? Like a potato? Is a baked potato white culture? I don't know. Who the fucking first baked a potato? I don't know. Were they white? Who fucking cares? So up next, we got Pam Bondi went before Congress, and it was something. It was something. She is bad at her job. Somebody in chat mentioned mayonnaise. I bet that was fucking invented somewhere else too. Ooh, schnitzel's really good. Schnitzel's really good. Anyway, here's Pam Bondi talking about Epstein, I guess, in front of Congress.
There was one redaction out of over 4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician. I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. And if they could maintain their composure, you don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in
You're obsessed with Donald Trump. You have Trump derangement syndrome. All of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump, you all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the Nasdaq.
That's what I tell the cops when they fucking pull me over for riding my bike drunk. I'm like, did you know the Dow is over 5,000?
Smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
Trying to intimidate and punish these ladies for coming forward.
That's not your job to say, oh God, we got more. That was just like a little bit of a montage. A little bit of a montage. But here's some other exchanges. Or here's some like longer exchanges that aren't cut up. Here's the Dow one, the one about the Dow being over 5,000. The one that we saw a little bit of there.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're
50,000. It's not dollars.
Stock trader, as I hear Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000, and the Nasdaq smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming.
That's all off of like fucking 5 companies.
That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year.
The Dow is just like it's like a fucking casino. Like, what is she talking about? Oh, there's more. This was so wild. This is so wild. This one is she's I guess so what she was doing here is she was refusing to answer questions from Democrats, right? And then when she got her time when a Republican was asking questions, she used the time that where she was supposed to be answering the Republican's question to like talk shit on the Democrat that just asked her a question she didn't like.
The reason that she wants to continue to talk about Minnesota, which we will all day long, is she doesn't want to talk about her own jurisdiction in Atlanta, because she doesn't want to talk about Christopher Welcher, who traveled across state lines to try to meet, and nothing's funny about this.
So hold on. So it's not their jurisdiction. They are not, they do this all the time, right? These people make laws for the United States of America. She might be the representative, whoever it is might be the representative representing the district that Atlanta is in, but they actually don't make policy for Atlanta, Georgia. That is the local and state government's job. These people, they don't make any policy. They don't do anything. That's not their job. The job is to set policy for the nation, not for Atlanta, Georgia. So people are dumb. They need to watch Schoolhouse Rock or some shit. Schoolhouse Rock's probably too fucking woke though.
To meet and molest a 14-year-old girl in Georgia. That's why they're watching the clock. The American people should know for the second it runs out, because they don't want to address anything in their jurisdiction. They're elected to represent people in their jurisdiction. We prosecuted illegal.
So it's not a jurisdiction, it's a district.
Aliens who ran a large-scale meth operation in the Atlanta metro area.
You understand we don't prosecute, right, Ms. Bondi?
Madam Attorney General.
Yeah, the fucking House person. They were like, "Ma'am, we don't prosecute crimes. We vote on the law for the federal government."
I'm the law.
I'm sorry. Thank you,
McClintock.
So yes, the statistics I spoke of earlier.
Because see, she was just shitting on, like, that was the last person that was asking her questions. She didn't like the questions, so she just used her time with the next person to like shit on the last person. But yeah, they don't like. Okay, so I have a House of Representatives person. I don't even know who the fuck it is. It might be Swalwell, or no, he's a fucking senator now. I don't know. There's somebody that represents my district in the House of Representatives. They don't set any laws for Oakland, California. They don't. It's actually kind of in bad taste for them to even really interfere with like local politics. So she's just stupid. So up next, here's somebody that just does not have. Oh, this is the worst one. Actually, this is the worst one. I'm just gonna let this one roll. This is the worst one.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once. When he was
weak sauce.
Also, I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is
Jewish. I just want to be clear. Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member knows that.
Can I get like 30 seconds back,
Yeah, fuck yeah, just leave. She was like, I'm out of here. She's like, this is a fucking dog and pony show. Dude, because it was, again, like that woman had just questioned her and she didn't answer that woman's questions. And then she went after that fucking lady, like during her next set of questions from a fucking Republican. Dude, she did so poorly. But she went there. People are like, oh, she's in trouble politically. No, she's not. That's exactly what the fuck that she's supposed to do there. That's like her job under President Trump. Her job is to go in there and do that. That's what her job is. So this was pretty funny. So imagine this says the post says waitress, which isn't really, imagine if Pam Bondi was your food server.
Greetings.
Hi, what are your specials?
Well, it's funny. Since my time as waitress, I have completed more orders than...
what are the specials?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question when I'm good and ready. Your theatrics are ridiculous. Okay, the market price fish might be up, but the Dow is down. Oh, you can't read the menu because of redactions? How about you apologize for coming in here with a party of 11?
Ma'am, could I get a refill on water?
Did you drink the water I already gave you?
Yeah, but I want...
So you admit that I already gave you water.
Yeah, but
I yield my time.
Ma'am.
Oh, so you want to complain that I gave you pickles when you said you didn't want pickles, but how about you apologize for a complicated order? I have yet to hear an apology from you, or you for that matter. What are the gluten-free options? How about you grow a pair? A turkey burger? This guy's got beef derangement syndrome over here. Give me a break.
Check, please.
You do not tell me what to do. I will get you the check when I want to get you the check.
And could I please get that with Italian dressing?
Italian dressing? In America? Illegal invaders.
I was 50-50 on putting that on the docket, but I feel like we needed that because it was kind of basic, and I don't like the gendered language of a waitress, right? It's a food server. This is like, we've been calling, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm woke and I live in the Bay Area. But anyway, that was pretty funny when she's like, Italian dressing in America. I'm not even that. Oil and vinegar dressing's hella good, actually. So here's Thomas Massie, a Republican who seems like, I don't know that much about Thomas Massie, so I don't really want to stand Thomas Massie, but he seems like he's getting a little bit annoyed with these people. People are like, oh, he's a lib now. I'm like, probably not. He probably has some horrible fucking thoughts about trans people or gay marriage, or fucking immigration, or all different kind of shit. But he was not impressed with Pam Bondi, and here is him right after that hearing.
I provided the evidence today that shows that his statements were false under oath. Kash Patel's statements were false. They are in possession. They were in possession at the time, and they're still in possession of evidence that other men participated in the sex trafficking.
Attorney General Bondi didn't seem to directly answer that question. And what do you make of what she did say?
She didn't answer anything. She came here just ready to talk about the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, which seems kind of crazy to me.
So yeah, again, I bet Thomas Massie is like probably not a great guy, right? I probably would not vote for him, but he seems to be a little annoyed with what's going on. Maybe it's stopping him from like oppressing people in the ways that he would specifically like to. Here's little tiny dancer Ben Shapiro. Seems to want off this ride, actually. I'm getting the impression that he wants off this ride.
Yeah, again, performative. I don't disagree with the stuff she's saying, but the performative nature of it does not make the American people feel as though there is a professional in charge of the Justice Department. So Eric Swalwell questioned her. Eric Swalwell, man, that dude. The representative from California who wants to run for governor over there. He
just call him Eric Swallowswell. You know you want to.
He asked her about political violence, and here was her response.
Congressman, I completely agree with you. I know about several of those personally involving you. I believe one has been charged publicly, and there's something I would be happy to talk to you about off camera. But I can assure you that they are very serious. They are being looked into, and I can give you more details on those. None of you should be threatened, ever. None of your children should be threatened. None of your families should be threatened. And I will work with, you can come into my office any day. I will work with all of you on both sides of the aisle if you are ever threatened. And I'll gladly talk to you after this hearing about your cases.
Okay, so again, this is actually like the high point of her testimony. Then we got to the stuff that was really the problem. So, as I said before, when it came to the revelation of what exactly the DOJ was doing on Epstein, I know for a fact from people who were in the DOJ at the time, there needed to be, the DOJ, the FBI, there needed to be a full-scale explanation with full Q&A with the revelation of particular documents to demonstrate why the DOJ was doing what it was doing. That's the thing that needed to happen. So when you show up, you should at least be able to do that in sort of a calm, collected fashion. This is, again, why I think that William Barr, who was AG under President Trump the first time, Bill Barr, was a very good AG. I do not think the same of Pam Bondi. I do not think she's good at her job. So here is Pam Bondi. This was the most awkward moment by far. So she was asked about Epstein, and she promptly started doing a cable news spot about how no one should ever mention Epstein again. They should only talk about the stock market, which, yeah, listen, I generally agree that the coverage of Epstein, given the evidence that we have, far exceeds the claims made about Epstein, far exceed the evidence that we have, and thus the coverage of Epstein far exceeds the actual evidentiary claims. With that said, I'm not sure the attorney general's job is to go out there and be like, why are you even covering this? It's the Dow Jones is doing great. This was not great here. Not great at all, Bob.
So at the end, even Ben was like, there's too much coverage of this. But here's a little Ben Shapiro, a little tiny dancer Ben Shapiro. Also not super happy with Kristi Noem. I think he wants to like pretend. I think he's going to like at some point pretend that he never supported any of this. And he's probably going to get away with it.
That is a really bad statistic for the Trump administration. This has always been a strength for the Trump administration. Remember, if 3 in 10 Americans are saying that the party they trust on immigration more is the one that left the border wide open for 4 years under Joe Biden, that is a referendum on the handling of immigration by, in particular, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who has been, I will say it, disastrous. Again, I think that the strength of the Trump administration when they came in is they came in with a hard-nosed plan to do things on executive orders. They moved fast. And yes, they broke some things, but it was concerted action. The first 3 months of the Trump administration was one of the most effective administrations I've ever seen in action. And then it turns out that if you take people who are good on TV and you just put them in cabinet positions, sometimes it works out okay, and sometimes it really, really does not.
I'm not even sure these people are good on TV, but have at it, Ben. You're a television expert, after all. If people don't know, Ben Shapiro wanted to be like a screenwriter. And then he ended up doing whatever this is.
And the polling data suggests that based on the ICE operations in Minnesota, that has undercut Trump's popularity on an issue where Republicans ought to have extraordinarily high approval. According to this brand new AP NORC poll, 62% of Americans say that President Trump has gone too far in sending federal immigration agents into U.S. cities. 61% say that the administration has gone too far in using federal law enforcement at public protests in U.S. cities. 54% say that the administration has gone too far in restricting legal immigration. And 52% say that the administration has gone too far in deporting immigrants living in the United States illegally. There is no excuse for this other than bad rollout. Because this was the
bad roll. No. Oh, this is no, Ben, bad policy, not bad rollout, bad policy. This is bad policy. It's fascism.
One promoted Trump to the presidency in 2016 and then did it again in 2024. And this is where I will say it again. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, has been very bad at her job. Just as I said yesterday, that Attorney General Pam Bondi has not been a credit to the administration. Quiet, solid implementation of mainstream policy. That is the way that administrations maintain popularity.
So Ben is trying to convince himself and to some extent his audience, but probably mostly himself, that Trump isn't actually like a bad person, a bad president, bad at his job, pushing bad policy, pushing racist, pushing authoritarian policy. It's just the people around him are just so bad at their jobs that you can't really tell that what Donald Trump is doing is revolutionary.
Not by going on TV in full makeup in order to promote the most radical version of the policy. There is an extraordinary piece in the Wall Street Journal breaking down Kristi Noem's tenure over at DHS. Suffice it to say, it has been problematic. According to the Wall Street Journal, Kristi Noem has basically used DHS as a platform for her own political gratification. Given the incoming fire that she was taking politically, apparently, 2 days after federal agents shot and killed Alex Preddy, Noem's top advisor and alleged lover, Corey Lewandowski. And that is important because that has been widely alleged. It apparently is not even being very...
I don't give a fuck, actually, if Corey Lewandowski and fucking what's-her-face, Kristi Noem are fucking... I do not care. In fact, I would prefer not to know about that shit. Fuck that. I don't want to know anything about that.
Hidden. Lewandowski, both of them are married, by the way. Corey Lewandowski is married. Kristi Noem is married. It has long been rumored in South Dakota politics. It's been long rumored since she became DHS secretary that they live together, essentially. Corey Lewandowski is not just her top advisor. He may be her paramour. And I say...
Look at Ben all. Look at Ben all fucking... Ben all like gossip like Mean Girl in this shit. Like, Ben, stop Mean Girl in this shit.
Very advisedly there. Apparently, Lewandowski messaged Tony Fabrizio, which is one of Trump's pollsters, with a request to cut an ad to help Kristi Noem. Fabrizio ignored the entreaty. According to the Wall Street Journal, throughout her tenure as Secretary of Homeland Security, a sprawling agency charged with carrying out Trump's central campaign promise of a mass deportation, Noem has attempted to burnish her personal stardom at every turn. With Lewandowski, Trump's former campaign manager, at her side, she has staged a headline-grabbing immigration crackdown while sidelining rivals and dissenters. She's carried out confrontational operations over the objections of longtime immigration officials who warned that such flashy displays would discredit the department's ultimate mission. She's been in constant fights with Tom Homan, again, the adult in the room. Apparently within...
Tom Homan is the adult in the room who took a $50,000 bribe from a fucking undercover FBI agent, if I remember correctly. And he looks like Tom Homan's like a dry drunk. He's like constantly wasted, but I don't think he drinks anymore.
Noem and Lewandowski frequently berate senior-level staff, give polygraph tests to employees they don't trust, and have fired employees. In one incident, Lewandowski fired a U.S. Coast Guard pilot after Noem's blanket was left behind on a plane, according to people familiar with the incident. This would not surprise anybody who's familiar with the work of Corey Lewandowski historically. By the way, I'm not even sure why Lewandowski has the power to fire people working with Kristi Noem. He has sort of a temp position.
Friend, it's because this isn't like a presidential administration. This is like the mob, but like more racist.
When you read down in the article, what you find is that days after Pretty's shooting, Lewandowski and Noem were spotted sitting together at the Mar-a-Lago wedding of Dan Scavino. A DHS spokeswoman said Noem serves at the pleasure of the president and has successfully clamped down on inefficiencies to save billions of dollars. She said that all the officials are on the same page.
She knows how to talk to Trump. She's like, I'm just going to tell him I saved billions of dollars. I'm the best at saving money. It's all because of you, sir.
Lewandowski's close relationship had already made Trump and his top advisors uncomfortable. Lewandowski had initially wanted to formally serve as Noem's chief of staff. Trump rejected the idea due to reports of a romantic relationship between the two. After tabloid photos of Lewandowski showed him going back and forth between his apartment and Noem's across the street last year, the secretary moved into a government-owned waterfront house on a military base in Washington that is provided to the leader of the U.S. Coast Guard. The Coast Guard falls under Noem's purview at DHS during peacetime. Apparently, the DHS spokeswoman said Noem moved to the house for increased security and pays rent as well, and Lewandowski spends time at the house. Lewandowski and Noem, who are both married, have publicly denied reports that they are sleeping together. But again, let's just say the rumors are extremely strong.
All right, Ben, stop it with the Mean Girls shit. Nobody cares.
The pair have been using a luxury 737 MAX jet with a private cabin and back for their travel around the country. DHS is currently leasing the plane. They want to buy the plane, but the purchase would be double the cost of each of 7 other commercial planes the department is also buying at the pair's discretion to carry out deportations. Apparently, behind the scenes, Noem and Lewandowski have been attempting to box out Tom Homan, who again is the responsible person. I'll say it again. You need responsible people in the room. Success is achieved.
Oh man, Ben is trying so hard. I think Ben wants off this ride. I think we're going to see Tiny Dancer Ben jump off this ride maybe by the end of the summer. Like as the primaries start to come along, if it starts to look like it's just going to be like unreal in the primary, then Ben's going to get off this. Ben doesn't need to be on this ride. Anyway, but just watching him, he's like, oh, look at all this chaos happening under the president. Yeah, everybody's acting like they're made, like they're mobbed up and shit, because that's the sort of the way that that's one of the ways in which Trump views power and thinks that he should express his power. For Trump, it doesn't matter that all this shit is happening as long as she is loyal to him. He does not give a fuck. Anyway, here's Tim Pool taking the hard line on this. He's going to say that Pam Bondi has done a moderately bad job. Oh man, Tim doesn't want off this ride because this is the only ride Tim Pool has.
Oh, man, we are a nation of adult children, is all I have to say. I think Pam Bondi has done I give her more credit than people do. I was about to say I think she's done a decent job, but I can't. I can't say it. She's done a moderately bad job. And, early on I did defend her. But
no, you didn't. You don't have to defend any of these fucking people.
Miserably handled the Epstein files. I largely agree with Massey, but I do think Congressman Massey can tone it down a little bit for the sake of trying to get the job done.
Wait, why could Thomas Massey? Why are you fucking? What the fuck, dude? Like Tim Pool, he's like trying to micromanage this horrible thing. It's so weird because he has no ability to micromanage it.
I think we're serviced as the American people by this kind of yelling, and Pam Bondi all the same, yelling back at Thomas Massey. I got to be honest, Pam's true opportunity here was not to get heated and emotional and call him Trump derangement syndrome or a hypocrite, but just to be like, we did. Yes. And my response, if I was in Pam Bondi's shoes, is to say to Congressman Massey, with all due respect, Congressman, I feel like we're doing what you asked and you're implying impropriety where there is none. Ask us and we will deliver. Instead, you get both yelling at each other. And
No, actually, the fucking so this is wrong too, because they had to go in to like a fucking skiff and like view unredacted Epstein files, and then they just went and fucking spilled the beans about some of the people, and now some people like are some of the people that weren't there. They're getting their comeuppance, but like this is not the way that you release information to the public.
It's drama baiting and people are going to love it.
This would have just worked out way better if they'd have just said no and never released this stuff, right? That like as soon as Trump became a fucking president, if he would have just said, no, actually, we're not releasing that or the JFK stuff, actually. I just said that to get elected. He would be doing so much better right now.
I'm ready to go just get some chicken wings, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up.
Oh, wings with the boys.
I'm happy that we're
How many people is he still paying to hang out with him?
More. So let's keep it up. Shout out to Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey for getting the job done, and put the pressure on him.
God, Tim Pool's like a moderately bad job. Tim Pool does not want. Tim Pool, he like he said, like if you remember, we watched the one last week, or was the week before. He was like, "Oh, people calling me a bootlicker," and he started going, "It's my boot. It's my boot." Now he's having a real hard time with this because he didn't even like the boots. He's like, "Oh, I don't know. These are kind of ugly. They make me look short or feminine, or whatever it is." All right, so here's Joe Rogan again. He's like, "Remember when I told you to vote for Donald Trump because he was going to take care of immigration? Well, whoopsie fucking poopsie.
Move things forward."
Yeah, the help people would be nice. But the citizenship thing is kind of crazy because the borders were wide open for 4 years, and they invited people into the country essentially.
Borders were not wide open. This is just a lie.
And gave them aid, and then once they're in, now the new administration is trying to arrest them and capture them. So both things are crazy. It's crazy that you did this, and that you just let these people and told them, you can have a better life, come to America. And
that's what immigration is. Yeah, actually, yes. Yes, that's people move to different countries sometimes. Yes, that's what are you talking about? I thought like one of the conservative things that people were saying is that people move here for the American dream. That was some fucking George W. Bush neocon shit.
It's also crazy that now you've got armed, masked people running up to people asking for your ID to check to see if you're an American.
Right, but you told people to vote for that. Donald Trump said we're going to deport all the illegals, and then you told him to vote for Donald Trump. And now they're going through, they're doing it. They suck at it, but they're doing it. They're building fucking warehouses at fucking concentration camps and shit. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know about this."
Things are crazy.
Both things are crazy.
But it's just, there's no pathway. Even if you've been here, like if you came over here 25 years ago and you've been a great person and you pay your taxes and you raise a family, and like there's no pathway. You have to go back to Mexico or go back to Guatemala or wherever you're from. The only way to apply to do it the right way is you have to leave the country, which also seems kind of crazy. Like you've built the life here. Like,
right.
Dude, this is why did you tell everybody to vote for this? You're just so mad at the fucking pronouns. They've got you freaking out about trans people so bad that you voted for concentration camps.
Some kind of amnesty. Now, I'm not saying that for people that are criminals or people that like just got here. Like there should be some amnesty. No, it's like no. Like if you were one of the people that
literally, that's literally what the Obama administration. That's what DACA, dude. DACA, the Dreamers. We had that. You absolute fucking moron. We had that. The Dreamers. We had it.
Order, like, no. Like, this is crazy. You haven't built a life here.
This is going to be hard to. That's a tough system.
Yeah.
Right. If some people yes and some people no, and
it's a tough system. It's definitely a tough system.
No, we had there was this process existed and it was dismantled in favor of mass deportation by the guy you told everybody to vote for, who ran on doing mass deportations. I don't know. It'd be better if there was a fucking system. Bitch, there was one. It had its problems like all other systems, but it seemed like even people who thought that the border needs to be closed or whatever, most of those people were in favor of the Dreamers. I think the Deferred Action, DACA, I think polled over 50% among Republicans in a lot of polls.
The whole thing is tough.
No,
because we're a country that's established by immigrants.
Yeah, it feels impossible.
You can't have an open border. You can't just have anybody come through, because there's going to be a bunch of criminals that come through, and you don't want that. You don't want your country to be more crime infested. You don't want your country to have murderers and cartel members.
What the fuck, dude? We have plenty of we have so many we already have so many fucking violent ass horrible people here. Who fucking cares if they get violent horrible people from somewhere else? Like, they're just gonna mix in with the other violent horrible people that are already fucking here. Like, what the fuck, man?
Into the country and now getting citizenship and being able to vote and organizing, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a good way to destroy your country.
Yeah.
You have to have.
Wait, why is letting people move here and vote destroying? This is the premise is the problem, right? The premise that, if people move here and vote, well, okay, what the fuck? People are born here and vote. I don't really see the difference. And fucking blood, except that this is blood and soil shit, right? This is all blood and soil.
Some way to vet whether or not people are good people. Yeah. But when you just let everybody in and you let 10 million people in, how do you, unless they get arrested while they're here.
Right.
What do you do? And even then, like a lot of them during the Biden administration, they were getting let go.
Well, because we have a process. Yeah, they were let go. Like they were arrested. They're like, they have a job, they have an apartment or whatever. They have like a residence. And they were let go, and they come back, and if they go to their court date or they don't. And if they don't go to their court date, well, then they fucking probably get deported, actually. This is the system that he was just talking about a minute ago, right? He's like, we should have some kind of system to try to figure out what's going on with the people that are here and stuff before we just kick them out of the country. Well, now you're complaining about the system that was there that did that, right? He's like nirvana fallacying the old system, I guess. Or like misrepresenting the old system in such a way that he can then nirvana fallacy it. Like, are we going to, like, what we tore that down, now we make a new one? We're gonna make it better? I don't think so. Anybody here have any, like, why would it be better the other one? The other one was probably like 9 million compromises, and so would the new one. So let's just put the old one back in place.
Sanctuary cities will letting people go. They were
overcrowded.
It's just great.
No. The sanctuary cities aren't letting you go. They're not checking because they don't care if you're a U.S. citizen or not.
The whole thing is crazy.
Like Oakland, we got a problem. Like these people, those cities have all these problems. Well, one of the problems that the fucking city of Oakland, where I live, doesn't want to deal with is immigration. This is not their problem.
It's become a part of a political pawn because they just want a bunch of people in these swing states for the census.
Wait, what is that? This is the great This is white replacement theory.
They get more congressional seats, and if they get these people and give them the ability to vote, now you have a built-in voter base, and you can just rig the election. You can rig it that way.
I need the white pill.
Yeah.
The what? Or the grayish white pill.
I'm handing out gray pills. We might be okay.
So he was like, I don't like what I'm seeing. Also, they're moving the immigrants in here to replace the whites and take over the government. All right, dude, what the fuck ever. Don't worry, we have Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, this is only a 19-second clip, but I'm sure that it's just right on the nose. Just everything about this is going to be fantastic.
Migration has been a huge flashpoint. More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term.
She's like, we also want to do this horrible policy of just fucking deporting people who are here. She's like, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it on the sneak. Didn't you like that better? And I think the answer is yes, but fucking shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck, dude? I would rather not see it and not, I guess it's, I don't know. Anyway, things are just going to get crazier from here, friends. Here's the world's worst group call. Here's Sherry Tenpenny. I don't know who Maureen. Mickey Willis, the pandemic guy, is on there. Merkel is on there. RFK Jr. is on there, and Dr. Pierre Corey's on there. And they're going to talk about infectious disease and the origins of germs, I suppose we would say.
Need. I will end all gain of function research. I will sign a treaty to end gain of function research to get all the nations to end gain of function research. It's just a disaster. It's given us no benefits. It's given us everything from Lyme disease to COVID.
Wait, Lyme disease from gain of function? Oh man, the fucking mad scientists are out to get all you in those labs.
COVID and many, many other diseases. That RSV, which is now one of the biggest killers of children, came out of a vaccine lab.
Wait, what?
So, and we can go down the whole list of diseases that down to, and there's good evidence that even Spanish flu came from vaccine research.
Yeah, but where did Spanish fly come from?
And, we don't know, and we'll probably never know, but there are very, very strong articles suggesting that now. The medical research on these diseases and vaccine research has actually created some of the worst plagues in our history.
Isn't that amazing? This guy is he's just fucking going off fucking the Spanish flu, like the 1913 flu pandemic. Come on, man. This is just too much. So things are getting even weirder. Here's this is the Eric Metaxas show, and here's Naomi Wolf, not to be confused obviously with her doppelganger Naomi Klein. Anyway, she's going to talk about Zohran Mamdani.
There's a demonstration in Minnesota and in New York, I would say. I don't think it's incompetence at all. A demonstration of, we're going to F up your cities. We're going to create civil war. We're going to create a situation in which the rule of law can't function. We're going to use your system against you, just as you said. And the last thing I would like to say about Mamdani is, and his theater, his demonstration that, the West has lost in New York, 1 month in, it wasn't a random invocation of Islam that he shared. It was specifically about immigration. And he said, basically, I want to emulate the Prophet Muhammad with how he handled immigration and hijrah. Well, Islam handled immigration by the sword and by forcibly converting the populations that they conquered. At the sword point. So he knew what he was doing. And it's basically saying, New York has fallen and it is now an Islamist.
Fuck, I don't know if you know this, but now it is illegal to not be fucking Muslim in New York City.
Beachhead and the garbage, I would say the garbage and the snow and the rats, piling up are a demonstration.
The garbage does she not know? Like New York City, like in the boroughs, just has this horrible garbage collection system. People who never noticed that or have never been to fucking New York City, they're like, why are there trash bags out in front of places? I'm like, well, that's where they go so that the garbage people come and pick them up.
Going to make it unlivable. And also his threatening businesses. This happened in the same week, right? We're going to forcibly detain their businesses if they try to leave. We're going to tax the hell out of them. He said that's all like trying to make New York unlivable for the people who used to run it so that it.
Oh, who are the people that used to run New York?
And and other interests,
well, that probably would have gone off the fucking rails in a whole ass other way if the fucking interviewer were to ask her, who used to run New York? She's like, the Jews. That would have gone way off man. Anyway, we don't cover a lot of Naomi Wolf because she's not well. Anyway, up next, we got this guy's name, Mark Meckler. We haven't covered him, I think, in a very long time. And I don't know if you know this, but it is revolting to hear Zohran Mamdani talk about his faith. A shout out to Right Wing Watch. Could never do a show, this one, or a show like it without them.
Garbage and snow have piled high in Mamdani's New York City. They had a big blizzard that blew through there. And now there are just sky-high piles of garbage, sky-high piles of snow. It's pretty much a disaster a week later. They haven't managed to clean it up. And this is always a test for New York's mayor. By the way, it's really hard. When it snows hard in New York, when you get a foot of snow or whatever they got, maybe more, it becomes very difficult to do basic services. They don't have enough trucks. Nobody has enough trucks to move all that snow off the street. And when you can't move the snow off the streets, the garbage piles up on the streets because you don't have enough garbage trucks that can fit down the streets. Now you have a mix of snow and garbage, and it's really bad. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's entirely Mamdani's fault. I don't think he did anything great to help, but I don't think
you can do anything about that. Yeah, New York, like their garbage system is like they haven't like updated. It's a thing. New Yorkers hate it. New Yorkers fucking hate it. But they're not going to leave New York over it. Like,
seen this before, but he's going to be blamed. And it is looked at as his first great failing. And people are really angry at him about that. And I like that because he's a communist.
All right, dude. Cool. It snows sometimes in New York City, but it doesn't really snow like heavily in New York City. So he got like a heavy snowfall, which that's great that everybody's blaming him for it, even though he didn't do it. Fantastic.
And I don't like the fact that he's mayor of New York City, although New Yorkers, you're getting what you asked for. But New York is the great financial capital of the world. I don't think this is good for the world to have Mamdani as mayor. And so anything that takes him down a notch or two, I'm good with. Now, speaking of Mamdani, he says that we should take his advice from his faith, Islam, and listen to his prophet, Muhammad, on immigration. I say nope, but you listen to this and tell me what you think.
Suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the three poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives. We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers. If faith...
So this Mark Meckler guy is mad at Zohran Mamdani, I think for understanding more than one religion, where this Mark Meckler guy fucking probably claims to be a Christian, but probably doesn't understand his own religion very well at all.
If faith offers us the moral...
Wait, what is it? I like this. So far, this is great. I'm an atheist, but this is cool.
The stranger. Government can provide the resources. Let us create a new expectation of City Hall, where power is wielded to love, to embrace, and to protect. We will stand with the stranger.
That hurts my head.
Why? Because you can't, because you're a piece of shit? That sounds fine to me.
There's so many things with that are so wrong. Yeah. First of all, he starts with an exposition of Buddhism that's just entirely incorrect.
Oh shit, this guy's an expert on Buddhism. Fantastic.
Thing about Buddhism, one of the things that Buddhism tells the world, is that suffering is the nature of existence. And he says, refers to Buddhism and says we don't have to accept suffering. Actually, kind of exactly the opposite message of Buddhism.
all right, that's too much. I can't do it anymore. This guy's like, oh, I heard they said that suffering is a part of life. So this guy doesn't understand Buddhism. Mark Meckler is an idiot. Probably not going to cover Mark Meckler anymore. So up next, this guy is Seth Gruber. He's an anti-abortion activist, and he is going to talk about how we need to, how he and his people need to outbreed the left. It's like this. It's a pro-natalist position, right? Check it out.
Outbreed the left and raise little iconoclasts and Christian nationalists. This is a little bit of a dark thought, but I want you to stay with me for about 30 seconds. We should never rejoice when the wicked fall into a ditch because their choices often harm their children. Now, there is such a thing as imprecatory psalms, 100%. But the way that the modern left chooses to live their lives often comes at great cost to innocent children who are the first victims of adult desires. However, if they continue to embrace every promise of the serpent, they are and eventually will vaccinate, trans, and abort themselves into extinction.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. What the fuck, dude?
We will
not great.
Aslan and give our great king a reason to show America mercy over the next 50 years is by having a ton of babies and raising them to be dragon slayers, because we'll eventually outbreed the doers of evil.
Okay, a couple things there. First of all, these are a lot of conservative men single conservative men complain that nobody wants to go out with them. So your plan is flawed to begin with. But then also, like somebody in chat was saying, if you have kids, you don't know who those kids are going to grow up to be. Going to be dragon slayers, or maybe they're just going to be like slay girl, and you don't really get to decide actually. So the whole thing is flawed. I don't think you can ever outbreed people who disagree with you, because it's just like the dumbest idea in the world. Oh yeah, you disagree with me? Well, I'm going to have a baby, and my baby's going to agree with me, and now it's going to be 2-1. Fucking mind-expandingly stupid. Up next, we got Sean Fucked, because all good things come out of Shasta, and he is going to talk to us about how he's going to get government funding to do some religious worship across this once mediocre across the country. Shout out to Right Wing Watch.
As I was praying and fasting leading into the new year, I felt like the Lord said, remind America on the 250-year anniversary of her heritage in revival and awakening. In other words, call America back to God. This is the source of our strength. Now, here's the exciting thing. Not only are we calling this the Roots of Revival Tour, where we are going to go from coast to coast.
I'm sorry, you're calling it what?
To all the historic and epic places of revival and awakening that were birthed in America. I'm talking everywhere from where George Whitefield and John Wesley and the heroes of the Great Awakening preached their sermons, to where George Washington prayed in Valley Forge in the Revolutionary War, all the way to where the first cross was planted on the shores of North America, Henry, Virginia.
Sucks.
In Virginia Beach.
This field trip sucks, Mom. I don't want to go.
Also Azusa Street in LA and the Jesus People movement. And we're kicking this off actually in Pensacola, in the site where the Brownsville revival happened in the 90s. But here's the cool thing. We're not just doing this by ourselves. We're partnering with a lot of other organizations. This is going to be by far our most collaborative and unity-driven agenda that we've ever done in the history of Let Us Worship. But the coolest part, guys, is we get to do it together with the Freedom 250 organization, which is the White House Trump administration arm executing the mandate of celebrating America's 250-year birthday. We're so excited. We have come into an agreement with them to partner together, to collaborate together. They're going to be coming out to some of our events. We're going to be championing other things they're doing. And so it's just very, very amazing. It is a dream come true and such a blessing to know that we get to, of course, we did this stuff in the Biden era. We did this stuff when we were hunted down by governors and mayors and we were fined and all that kind of stuff. But it's just an amazing season from God to be able to do this in partnership with our own government and to know that they have our back and to be able to be an extension of literally like the faith office inside of the White House, all the people that are praying inside of there, so many members of the cabinet in the Trump administration love Jesus, and they're going to be a part of this in various ways. So it's just so exciting to announce that we are officially partnering together. On May 17th, they're calling for a day of worship and prayer and consecration to rededicate America back to God. You may have seen the president make an announcement about this at the prayer breakfast.
Dude, let's everybody make sure you watch Extra Porn that day.
We're going to be a part of that too. And we're so honored and excited. I mean, look at this, guys. We're going back to the National Mall. We did it in 2020. We did it in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. We were there last year with the HUD, and I was there with Scott Turner on the National Mall with the government. And now we're going back with the White House, with our own government to help them host a whole day of worship and prayer. We're so excited. May 17th is when that happens on the National Mall. But the whole year, guys, Roots of Revival is going to be partnered with the White House and many other organizations.
All right. Well, that's not great. So this guy's getting government funding and government assistance to go around and fucking do his Sean fucked routine. A big fucking like kind of Ron Luce, like Teen Mania vibes from this guy. He hasn't like caught on that the new model is more like Turning Point USA and less like Fire by Night. But he'll do his thing. He'll do his thing, and he'll continue to grift. So there's I guess something called the Museum of the Bible. And dozens of members of Congress attended an event there. And here is just a minute of that event.
Lord, I give you thanks that I'm from Texas, where we are so pro-life and so pro-marriage. But Lord, I pray for our nation. Father, we've lost our way. Our nation has lost our way. We've killed over 60 million unborn babies, Father. Lord, we've trampled on what you called holy matrimony. We've called it an alternate lifestyle. Father, I pray for your...
He is going to cry. Somebody in chat mentioned, I haven't watched this, but it looks like he's going to cry.
You said that the borrower is a slave to the lender, and yet we're upside down in all the things that we're doing financially. Lord, I pray for all here. Lord, for your grace and your mercy. Lord, I repent of my sin of abortion. Thank you.
Wait, did you this dude got an abortion for his mistress.
Saving me on July 2nd, 1973 at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Abortion for me, but not for thee.
Back to you. You are full of mercy and grace, and Lord, let us follow you and show you to a hurting and a dying world. These things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Man, the crowd was white like a Scientology event. That guy, the sin of abortion, did he have one? Did he have one? Maybe, I think he got his mistress to have one. So we got two more before we go into red light here. This is Joel Webbin. We call him like great value Matt Walsh because he's trying to like do a Matt Walsh kind of thing, which is like a really, when you think about it, you're not really aiming very high. But here is talking about which side the USA picked in World War II. Because of course.
Part of the reason that the battle has gotten as difficult as it is today, that communism has been winning, the Bolsheviks have been winning, is because, some of the most powerful Christian nations in the world teamed up with the Bolsheviks. We said, you know what? Give us Barabbas. Give us the communist.
Yeah.
We like those guys. We'll side with the communist. A Christian nation? You got to kill those guys.
The Christian monarchy?
Lutherans? Put them to death, slaughter them all. 10 million, we'll hunt them down. Just, you speak German? The war's already over. It's been decades. Kill that mom, kill that grandma, kill him. I mean, it really is remarkable when I think of, we should have stayed out of it.
That's not where you were. Oh no. Oh God, we did that. We picked the wrong side. We picked the wrong side in World War II is what he said. And he's like, oh, maybe I should. Maybe I'll back off of that. But he was saying we picked the wrong side in World War II. Oh man. So we're not gonna watch more than just a minute 30 of this, but we're gonna check in on Eric Weinstein, make sure he's doing okay before we go into red light. It's for fans of the former Intellectual Dollar Tree show here. I wonder what Eric's talking about. Anybody have any guesses what Eric Weinstein might be talking about? I'm gonna guess himself, but we'll see.
Elon is very mysterious in a way that somehow nobody seems to notice. One of his slogans is Ad Astra, to the stars, right? But you can't get to the stars using SpaceX because it's a chemical rocket company. So what the heck? He's not investing in physics. He was going to go into a physics grad school. I think he has a physics BA. So there's something very, very strange about Elon, which is that he's focused on getting to the stars. He doesn't seem to have any interest in physicists. And
so, friends, he's mad that Elon doesn't hang out with him. Like, clearly.
He has a chemical rocket company. What's going on? His real space company, I think, is not SpaceX. It's XAI. It's Grok.
Wow. Let's break this down a little more.
Sure.
What the fuck is the interviewer? You don't have to say shit, dude, because Eric will talk about himself forever. You go, oh, that's interesting. What else? And Eric, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if this is a real interview. Like,
look at the logo for Grok. I think it's like a black hole profile. Look at its slogan, to understand the universe. I think he's given up on the corruption of science. He keeps talking about the fact that he doesn't like the term researcher. He believes only in engineers. He's constantly really running down scientists. Now, I don't think he doesn't believe in scientists. I think he thinks that science has gotten corrupted and he doesn't want to deal with it. And I think what he's doing is he's building Grok to do science in a time when humans are too corrupt to be truthful.
Oh no. This is just all personal grievance. This is about Eric and his personal grievance. He's like, the physics community made fun of me when I told them that I unified physics by myself in my spare time on the back of a napkin while I was having a Manhattan. And Elon knows that, and that's why he's going to have an AI do the physics. Also, Elon, why won't you hang out with me? You fucking weirdo. Oh man, I'm so glad we don't cover that much of Eric Weinstein anymore. More importantly, I'm really glad we don't cover a whole lot of Brett and Heather. And we don't have any of those people in red light. But what we do, we have little Nikki Fuentes. We got a couple of them, actually. And then we got a Steven Crowder. And then we got this fucking nightmare interview or fucking talk about Jeff Epstein. If anybody listening to the pod needs a reason to maybe check out the live show or get the members show, it is a conversation between Michael Trackey and Richard Hanania, and it's going to be horrible. But what's not horrible is Boomers by Periscope. We're going to play Boomers by Periscope, and if you're watching live, hang tight. I'm going to make a drink, a strong one, and we'll be back.